Imagine this, the soft chime of a doorbell echoing through marble halls, pulling you from the quiet triumph of your morning ritual. You've built this fortress of success brick by invisible brick, every stone forged in the fire of rejection. And there they stand on your security feed, ghosts from a life you buried deep, their faces etched with desperation, eyes pleading for the mercy they never showed you. My name is Emily Hayes, and on that crisp autumn morning in my Atherton estate, worth more than their wildest dreams combined, I felt the weight of 10 years' silence shatter like glass underfoot. They had come crawling back, not out of love, but out of ruin. And I held the power to lift them or let them drown. A choice that tasted like bitter honey on my tongue. From the cradle, I was the shadow in the Hayes household, lingering in the corners while the light beamed eternally on my brother, Michael. We grew up in a modest suburb outside Chicago, where my father, John Hayes, ruled like a king in his real estate empire. He was a towering figure, broad and unyielding, with a voice that could seal multi-million-dollar deals or crush a child's spirit in the same breath. His company, Hayes Properties, turned empty lots into gleaming high-rises, and he wore his victories like a crown. But his ambitions? They all funneled into Michael, 2 years my senior. The spitting image of Dad, tall, charismatic, with that easy grin that opened doors without effort. Michael was the heir, the golden son, groomed from toddlerhood to inherit the throne. His soccer trophies crowded the shelves, his average grades praised as practical smarts. AC in math? Dad would slap his back and boom. That's my boy, real estate's about grit. Not graphs. But me? Straight A's were met with a grunt, if anything at all. My mother, Susan, was the silent enabler, drifting through our home like mist, arranging charity galas and holiday decor while sidestepping every storm. When I'd curl into her lap, stinging from another dismissal, she'd murmur, "Don't rock the boat. Honey, your dad's under pressure." Pressure. That's what they called it. But I felt it too, the constant undercurrent of not being enough, of being the wrong kind of Hayes. The comparisons weren't subtle, they were the air I breathed. "Why can't you be more like your brother?" echoed through birthdays and dinner tables. At 12, I won the regional math Olympiad, but they skipped the awards ceremony for Michael's track meet. I scanned the crowd that day, my voice trembling through my acceptance speech, hoping for a glimpse of them amid the strangers. Nothing. The scar that cut deepest formed on my 15th birthday. I'd earned a spot in an elite summer STEM program at Caltech, one of 50 kids nationwide, fully funded. I burst through the door, letter in hand, my chest tight with fragile hope. They were in the den, John in his armchair, newspaper in lap, Susan knitting a scarf, Michael lounging with his game console. I got in. I blurted, waving the paper. John's eyes flicked up, annoyed. "Cost? It's paid for everything." He set the paper down, not with pride, but exasperation. "You're not flying to California alone at 15. End of story." "But Dad, it's Caltech, we have plans." Michael's starting his real estate internship with me. Family first. Michael smirked without looking up. Susan's needles clicked on, uninterrupted. Later, through the wall, I heard John's mutter, "She's got her head in the clouds with all this tech nonsense. No guy's gonna want a know-it-all wife. She'll never build anything lasting, not like Michael." The words sank like hooks into my soul, twisting with every breath. Not anger. Not yet, that would come later. What sprouted was a quiet resolve. A vow whispered in the dark, I'd prove him wrong. Make him choke on those words one day. I hoarded the hurts like hidden treasures, the overlooked report cards, the forgotten anniversaries, the casual barbs that chipped away at my worth. They fueled me through midnight study sessions, teaching myself algorithms on a clunky library PC when our home computer was for business only. I applied to MIT in secret, forging ahead because John Hayes was dead wrong about me. I'd rise so high he'd have to crane his neck to see. The MIT acceptance arrived in a plain envelope, mailed to my friend Lisa's address to evade John's mail snooping. Full ride. Engineering program. Top tier. For a foolish heartbeat. I thought this would rewrite everything. Even he couldn't ignore MIT. I chose dinner to reveal it, sliding the letter across the table amid Susan's lasagna. MIT wants me full scholarship. Silence. Thick and wrong. John skimmed it, tossed it aside. Not happening. Boston's too far. Too pricey even with aid. You'll do community college here. Find a husband. Get real. But Michael's going to Northwestern. And you're footing 40 grand a year, that's different. Michael's building the future. You'll drop it all for kids. It's how women are wired. Susan whispered. John. Let's think, nothing to think about. He stormed off. But I didn't crumble. Over the next months, I plotted in shadows, confirmed enrollment, secured loans, squirreled away tips from my diner job. Graduation came. And as I crossed the stage, I knew I was crossing into exile. The eruption hit 2 days before departure. John found my train ticket while rummaging in my bag. His roar shook the house. You defied me. The ticket crumpled in his grip. I'm 18, I shot back. Voice steady despite the quake inside. I don't need permission. You need my support. I don't want it. His face twisted. You're a fool. Emily. The world chews up dreamers like you. Connections matter. Power matters, you have none. Because I'm not Michael? No, because you're nothing. A burden we've carried too long. Susan wrung her hands in the hall. Michael watched like it was primetime drama. I packed that night. Suitcases bulging with thrift store clothes. Morning found them at breakfast, ignoring me. I'm gone, I declared. John rustled his paper. Don't come begging when you crash. I won't. Susan slipped me $150. Tears in her eyes. I took it. Walked out to John's parting shot. Dead to us. You're dead. The train station blurred through my tears. But I wiped them dry. They'd discarded me, fine. I'd make them regret it in ways they couldn't fathom. Boston slammed into me like a nor'easter, raw, unrelenting. Scholarship covered classes. But survival was a grind. My dorm was a shared basement in Allston. 6 to a room. My spot a futon amid the stench of takeout and ambition. Roommates griped about tiny allowances while I stretched peanut butter sandwiches. I studied in cafes to escape the chaos. Worked the graveyard shift at a coffee shop near campus. Shoes wore thin in the slush, I taped them together. Pride swallowed. Then came the upscale gig at Le Rivage, a French spot in Back Bay where hedge fund managers wined clients over foie gras. The manager eyed my faded blouse. You handle pressure? Yes. Lies got me in, black slacks from a discount bin. Heels that blistered but looked sharp. Days melted, lectures till noon. Library till 4. Shifts till 1 a.m. Coding till dawn. I smiled through tycoons' boasts. Absorbing their world, the deals sealed over cognac. The casual dismissals. One patron, a banker named Victor, quipped I was too sharp for waitressing, his trophy wife giggling while I bit back fury. The pivot came sophomore year. Bone-tired from a circuits project. At table 9, a professor-type woman hammered her laptop, cursing at schematics. I recognized the glitch in her circuit design. On break, I leaned in. Try grounding that resistor, it's causing feedback. Dr. Nora Kane, sharp-eyed at 50, head of MIT's robotics lab, peered up. You an engineer? Sophomore. Electrical. She slid over. Prove it. I sketched on a napkin. Explaining. She nodded. Handed her card. My lab. Wednesday. We're building adaptive AI for prosthetics. Don't waste my time. I dropped a conflicting class. Risking credits. Nora didn't mentor gently, she forged me in fire. You're driven by something dark, she observed during a late debug. Use it wisely. Rage blinds, focus cuts. Under her. I innovated. An AI algorithm predicting user intent from neural patterns. Patent pending. Guard your edge, she warned. The world preys on the vulnerable, especially women like us. By junior year. Prototype in hand. I pitched VCs 40 rejections that hollowed me out. Too green, need a co-founder with balls. I screamed in my rust bucket car after one. Then turned predator. At low rivage. I stalked investors. Victor's loose lips post-bourbon. Others' vanities. Then. Alex Rivera, 38. Ex-startup mogul. Now at Rivera Capital. He dined solo. Frustrated by gadget glitches. One night, as he jabbed his tablet, biometric fail, he glanced up. What if AI learned your habits invisibly? Demo on my cracked phone hooked him. Office. Tomorrow. Grilled by his team. I fought. I succeed because failure's not an option, unlike your silver spoon bets. Alex invested $300,000. Hayes AI was born. The check hit. I leased a tiny Cambridge office. Hired a coder was named Jordan. Clients rolled in banks. Then governments. I checked John's site weekly. Hayes properties faltering. No new builds. Michael's VP title on a crumbling deck. The $15 million Atherton home closed on a whim, no loans. Cash wired. Forbes profiled me. The AI visionary reshaping security. Awards piled up. Acquisitions rebuffed. Apple at $100 million. No. Then. Bankruptcy news. Hayes Properties insolvent. $25 million debt. Michael's fraud whispers. Calls flooded, Susan pleading, we're losing it all. Proud of you. Emily. Proud? Now. I blocked her. Nora chuckled. Savor it documented. The doorbell that Sunday. John. Shrunken. Susan. Frayed. Michael. Hollow. I buzzed them in. Led to the sunlit great room. They gawked at the opulence. Help us, John rasped. Loan $4M. I unveiled my dossier, emails. Voicemails. Slights cataloged. Admit it. John broke. I was wrong, you're everything I said you weren't. Michael, I profited from your pain. Apologies hung heavy. No cash for you, I decreed. Trust for Michael's kids. House for Susan. John's plea shattered. Please. You killed this bridge. Live with the ashes. They left broken, I felt. Free. Success wasn't revenge, it was transcendence. The pain they'd inflicted? It forged me unbreakable. And that? They could never touch.